Good morning, good morning, good morning, and happy Saturday. Happy Saturday. Welcome to the Success Code Fireside Chats, where we have conscious leadership meeting business and real talk. And y'all know it, we do more real talk than anything else on this show. We are debunking the success myths that we have been taught or we have learned all along in our lives. So, what would it look like for us to debunk those myths so that we can thrive and be authentically who you were meant to be to create what you were meant to create in the world? What would that look like just for you? So, this week, y'all know I start the show by talking about what happened this week. Oh my goodness, y'all. If you don't have a mastermind that you're connected to, you're missing out. Let me just say that, because that's part of the success formula. I believe that's part of the success formula. This week, I had an amazing opportunity to be among amazing leaders. And I do not say that lightly. You know, you go into rooms with individuals who are doing well, they are having success, and you wonder what is happening with them that's not happening with you, right? And you're saying to yourself, hey, this is what it gets to look like. So I want to encourage you to find a mastermind that you connect with so that you can accelerate yourself, accelerate your life, accelerate your business, and make the impact that you want to make. I just saw that my guest disappeared off my screen. I have no idea why. Oh, there you are. Okay, there you are. There you are. And so this morning, I am so super excited to have my guest, Erik Swanson, on the show. And like I just said, if you're not in a great mastermind, and I'm in multiple masterminds, y'all. So don't get me wrong. I'm in multiple masterminds, and I'm in a mastermind that's run by this amazing human being, Erik Swanson, and he is the creator of the Habitude Warrior, and he's a serial entrepreneur, and he's just an all-around awesome guy. So welcome to the show.
Keep going. I want to hear more. I want to hear more about this guy. This guy sounds amazing. He sounds like he just woke up specifically for this show right here, right now. And he was trying to figure out his camera angles, and he didn't think he was on camera. And then he thought, you put me on camera for the heck of it. And then I was like, I'll let her do the monologue. And then I realized I'm live. I'm here. I'm awesome. So I'm just going to walk around my house, and maybe I'll just go outside. Yeah, that's what I'll do. I'll just go outside and just hang out by the
jacuzzi. I love it. This is a real deal.
I'm in my house in the mountains. Nobody knows where I'm at. And maybe I'll just jump in the jacuzzi or sit by the fire pit. That's what I'll do. I'll sit by the fire pit.
Well, it makes sense, right? Because we are on the fireside chat. I love your backyard.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. It's a forest.
Yeah, I love that.
How are you?
Keep you grounded.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So, how are you? Good morning.
I am, I got up this morning and I was in awe
of
and
me.
So grateful.
Come on. I did the same thing. I got up this morning. I went to the mirror and I was like, come on. Remember Fonzie? It would be like, and he's like, hey, I don't need to. Nah, you look great. Let's go.
Yeah. I'm super grateful this morning because this week has been really not just eye-opening. It's been like I go through different levels of awakening, and this week was one of them. Being in the space of where I was and the people I was around, and you get to learn about yourself a lot when you're in those spaces. So for me, it was like, oh my gosh. And then you get into, you're going to appreciate this. The gratitude, right? The gratitude of the whole thing. When in the mornings, for the 4 mornings I was there, I would wake up and immediately look out into the ocean. Like my room was on the ocean.
Right.
So when I got up and I walked to the patio, I walked in the grass, and there was the ocean. And so just being in,
Which ocean? The Indian Ocean? That'd be cool.
I don't
I was
think
just
so.
curious. I don't know.
No, I think we were in Cancun, whatever ocean is on that side. I
Okay.
mean, Caribbean Ocean, I hope.
Yeah. In the Gulf of
So
Mexico, Caribbean.
um,
It's so
it's
funny.
water. I don't
It's
care.
water. It's blue. It's got jellyfish. You're good. It's
Yeah,
got
but
sharks.
I was just in gratitude of um, the opportunity to be in that space. Gratitude for the water. We had storms. I was in gratitude for the rain. The sun came out. You should have heard when the sun came out. Everybody was rejoicing. Actually,
They do that in Austin, Texas. When the sun goes down, they clap God. They're like, "Oh my God, that's awesome!" It was beautiful. Yeah, that's at the Oasis Diner in Austin, Texas. If you're ever there
yeah.
at sunset, it's beautiful.
Yeah. So just being in gratitude for that this week. So which brings me to, because I know who you are. If you wanted to add anything else that I haven't said about you to the audience who will listen to you here live and on the replay. We are streaming, by the way, on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube this morning without a challenge. Yay.
Yay, nochallenges.com. Well, I'm going to share it right now then. Let me just go to your social. There we go. And I'll share it on mine right this second. That sounds great. So, I will say a few things that you've already mentioned. I'm going to put awesome. There we go. Absolutely awesome. Share. Boom. So Lorna, interesting. You started to say a second ago, the last 4 days you were in Cancun, and you're getting up and you're going to this, and you said, and I woke up and I thought, you just stop there, because give me a second, my dog wants to eat my window. Okay. You could just stop there and say you woke up. That's like it's not half the challenge. It's 99% of the challenge, right? Is just simply waking up,
Yeah.
And I was on another interview and podcast the other day, and I was thinking, we were talking about this, that, it's just getting up. It's just making that decision, that first decision to actually say yes
Mhm.
to not only the people in front of you, but first to yourself. Right.
Absolutely.
And I was talking to another person, they're a model and a supporter, or I don't know what you call it, influencer, I guess, for No Bull project shoes, the No Bull tennis shoes. They're really cool athletic shoes. And they were saying, motivation, where motivation comes from? It comes after you get up and go and start walking and do the action first, then the motivation, then you allow God to give you that motivation. It's really cool. That's why I'm in this serene area that I choose where I wake up. Right. So, book title, you'll be in it. I choose where I wake up,
Yeah.
and how you wake up. I don't know what you asked me. I'm from Washington, D.C., but I'm going to continue. So
I was asking you to tell people, and that's what I actually missed, to tell them that you're also a publisher, because you support. So you can go ahead and go a little bit deeper into what you do for your clients,
yeah.
and how you move in the world. You're Mr. Awesome, remember?
Well, I love this conversation about getting up, though. I love this. Enough about me. Like, everyone knows me, or if you don't know me,
No, hold on. Everybody does not. They do not know you. Everybody
well,
don't
that's
know
what I
you.
was saying. Is if you don't know me, get to know me, because you'll be more successful just by surrounding yourself with the people that I surround myself with, right? So I'm very humble about talking about myself. All right, I'll give you the 30-second version. I started with Brian Tracy 30 years ago. He's one of my top mentors and friends in my life. And since then, I've surrounded myself with my best friends, like Sharon Lecter, Rich Dad Poor Dad, Don Green, president of Napoleon Hill Foundation, Frank Shankwitz, who just recently passed, Make-A-Wish Foundation founder. Anybody and everybody, I know them. The founder of Priceline just called me yesterday. Dude, what's up? That's what he says to me all the time. And stuff like that. So I surround myself with really cool individuals. And what I do is I learn. Here's the deal. For your show, your podcast, the success code really is, I took what people do great and I wrote it down. And then I took what people suck at and I wrote it down. And I put what people do great on a board. And it's a whiteboard, I use this magnetic whiteboard, and it was in nice cursive, nice handwriting. And then I took the sucky stuff, and I put it in big, huge magic marker, big, huge letters, big across the whole. And I put a top, don't do this. Okay. But the thing is not just don't do that. It's strive to figure out projects and processes of ways and success codes to save people from when they're doing this. Does that make sense? So like it's like a doctor. When you go to a doctor, the doctors, you go to the doctor and the doctor turns to you and says, Lorna, you look amazing. Your hair looks great. I love the way you dress. You look fantastic. You look lively. Your skin looks great. You look great. You look great. Congratulations. Rock and roll. See you later. They're not going to just say that. They're going to say, but hold on, let's check to see what's going on. What's sucking on the situation right now? What's happening? So that we can fix that. We can address that. And that's what most people don't do. So that's what I do. So in the 30 seconds that I just took, what I do is I run something called Habitude Warrior, and it's a mastermind. I also run, I'm trying to get some sun out of the way. I also run the publishing, Integrity Publishing International, where we publish authors, whether you're a solo author and you've got your book, you've got your idea, or whether maybe you've written some, maybe you've gone through publishers. Oh, we should talk about that. We'll talk about that in a little bit. What's good and what sucks about some different types of publishers. I literally had a conversation 2 days ago about this subject, and the person's like, well, I'm going through you, and they realized why is because we take out the sucky part of working with some other companies or associations. I mean, everyone's great, but some people, anyway, so
they're not perfect at everything, right? No one is perfect at everything. All right. So let's jump in. I want to ask you a few questions. Yes, we're going to have a conversation, but I want to make sure some of the things I want the audience to hear from you, your ideas around certain things, i.e., success is about talent versus luck. What do you say about that?
Success. Okay, so success is about talent versus luck. That's what people are saying.
I think that's a myth. What is your take on that? Is it a myth for you, or how do you perceive success? What is success to you?
Yeah. So I'd love you to give me the list of who said that, because I want to write that down and put them on the sucky list. So here's the deal. So I mean, come on, like, success is about talent or versus luck. It's a combination of both. Like it either, I'll say it this way: success is there. Success is not either of those. Okay, it's a whole characteristic of about 10 major things that I'll share a few of them with you. But the thing is, talent and luck enhances your success quicker. That's it. That's all it does. It just gives you a quicker vehicle to get to where you're going. That's it. Like, yeah.
So then what is success?
So my definition of success is, and it's very, very, very similar to what Brian Tracy taught me years and years ago. It's the culmination of the process of step by step growing to your ultimate goal on a consistent basis. So success could be, so some people say, oh, you're successful, you're driving a Lamborghini, you're driving this or driving that, or you live in the mountains, or whatever. Success could be anything. If you turn to someone who's on hard times, success could be a bicycle to get to work, right? Success could be ramen noodles. I mean, I used to talk about my TRDs. I don't know if I ever told you my top ramen days. They were, that's what I call them, my TRDs, top ramen days. They were, I used to live on these and growing in sales with, when I first started in sales years ago. And it was bad. Like there were 6 for $1, 5 flavors: beef, chicken, pork, shrimp, oriental. I used to live on these things. I was going to write a book about how to make top ramen noodles, and then I realized the book would cost $20 that people eating it couldn't afford in the first place. Then I got fired from my job. Have you ever gotten fired from a commission only job? So I had to decide, what does success really mean? And my definition, honestly, is is the culmination of the process that you are doing with, which is your actions, your attitudes, right? Your habits. So it's habitude is my term because it's habits and attitude. That it's a whole nother story where Jim Rohn and I were sitting down and that word came out in our conversation. I was like, I'm going to build a company out of it. He's like, you should. So the culmination of your habits, your attitude, and your action, put that together and add in, sprinkle in. We should do a recipe, like the recipe of success, right? Like a food recipe, but
That's
sprinkle in, yeah. Oh, good. We'll do that book series too. So sprinkle in some commitment level and some support level, right? Some referral level, meaning referral by like your team, your support team, and add all that. That's what success really is continuing the process. And it's funny how people, Bill Walsh and I used to talk about this all the time. Bill's a buddy of mine. And he and I used to talk about, like, people always look at us or look at people who are successful and they're like, oh man, they're lucky, or they're, they must have had talent or luck, and that's how they got there. And we'd say something like, they see the glory, they don't see the story. And the glory is like right now, like, they see now, but they don't see the 25 years that it took to grow to that level. Right. So sticking to it is critical.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing you say is success is a process.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, I think that society actually, we were talking about this in the last 4 days as well. Society kind of puts success as this glorified thing, because it's all about the things versus who people get to become during the process of learning. Because and that's why success is different for everybody, right? Because people are taught that the thing is a thing until you get to some point. So let me ask you, when did you realize that what you were doing in your life was not the success that you were looking for?
Oh, when I was broke and hungry. My TRDs. I mean, are you kidding me? I was like, what's happening? Why is everyone passing me on the freeway with their Mercedes Benzes, and I've got a three-legged push start, Honda CRX. My muffler was in the front seat, right on the floorboard, because it fell off. That's when I realized that stuff I'm doing is not working. So I was like, I gotta change. And those are just little tiny things that were just reminders. But success is definitely a process, and it's also, you said a second ago. Let me see if I can recall exactly. I'm trying to get the right angle of the sun here because it keeps on moving, or I do. So it's interesting how you said, like, some people think success is a thing. Interesting, like Bob Proctor talks about, thoughts are things. I believe that. I believe success is a process. It's a thought pattern. It's not an object. It's a habit. It's a character. It's inside of you. It's your character, and it's your integrity character. That's what I believe.
Yeah. I think that, so I want to come back to when you had the Honda and your TRDs. I love that. No, because
Great. Let's talk about failure.
So was it though? Was it failure?
No. I'm trying to get back on screen. No, of course it wasn't failure. It was learning curves, right? Learning quotients, of course.
Yeah, because I don't think you would have been able to be here now had you not gone through that, right? At some point in your life. I think that everybody has. I don't know of anybody that I've studied who is now quote unquote successful who doesn't have a similar story as yours.
Of course.
So I think it's I truly believe that's part of the process. I mean, I came to this country with $50, right? And nowhere to stay. Because the woman who my mom had arranged for me to stay with, she decided that it wasn't going to work. So I had to go figure it out, right off the bat. Starting out with $50 in America, I don't care when it is or when it was, $50 in America isn't going to go far, right? Back then, gas was $1, but the train was also $1, right? So I think that, and as you go along, what I've learned is as you move through this life, you still have those different levels of those kinds of periods in the process. So did you have, after you went through that with the car and the TRD, was there any other time in your life that you experienced what you considered another low period?
Oh, without a doubt. So so I'm laughing because it's funny and sad all at the same time, and really sad, obviously, and you'll figure out why in a second. So I'm on. I got my TRDs. I got my Honda CRX. I started working with Brian Tracy, and I did not let him know I had a 3-legged, car. Okay, I had a donut.
And then you had to travel. Oh my God.
So if he found out, he would have fired me right away. And I'm telling you, I had a little joke. He doesn't know this yet, and maybe he'll know if he watches this right now. But I'd say, oh yeah, I'm heading out to the car, go and get some donuts. He didn't realize the donut was one of my tires. My back tire was a donut. I had three cars and one donut. Do you know what a donut is? I don't think you do. So yeah, the little car, the little whatever tire. Yeah, the fix-it flat tire. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that was my donut. So anyway, the short of the story, or the long of the story, is I'm just walking inside just because the sun was getting a little fun outside. So the short of the story is the fact that I was working with Brian and having this TRD moment, and then I ended up, pardon me, moving away from that. I ended up buying my first BMW M3, I think it was. So I went from, you're talking about the $50 thing. I went from, pardon me, gentlemen, I'm on a podcast. Please wait. Talking to my voice. So I went from, let's just call it, they're right below me and eating my feet. So I went from TRD days to the next year I went from making nothing and being a waiter at $23,000 a year or something like that to making, I think my first year was 97 or something. And I didn't go to college. Okay. I went to college and they asked me to leave. So that was cool. So then fast forward 9 years, I'm working with Brian. I'm on the top of my game. It's awesome. Everything's great. Driving a Porsche 911, thinking that's whatever success. And it's great. Everything's awesome. And then September 11, 2001 rolls around, and I had just branched off from Brian. He gave me his blessing, saying, "Of course, Erik, you're awesome. Do it. Yeah, I'll share stages with you." And I was like, "Great." So I created my own company, which was a training company and seminar. Right then in August, okay, August 8th, 2001. You understand where I'm coming from?
Absolutely, because I will tell you, August 6th, 2001 was mine. That's hilarious.
That was yours. Wow. Yeah. So that was my August 8th, 2001 was the the date. And then you ever have people just move around and walk around on your podcast? Awesome.
No, Erik, because remember you're not normal.
I'm trying to be as unique as possible. So that was, and when 9/11 happened, look, and I'd mentioned this, it's a sad story. Obviously, I'm laughing because of my situation, but then it was a sad story. And I had to dig deep and say to myself, well, what am I going to do? Everyone had to, right? After the shock and the horror of everything, we all needed to dig deep and say, well, we have businesses, we have companies, we have this. What's next? What should we do? And we all took a break for a while. And then I said, okay, well, and I remember exactly where I was. I was in one of my first meetings. It was literally one of my first meetings. And I walked downstairs and they showed on the TV and so forth. And right then we had a decision to make. And we said, well, the world, we need to fight back and continue our awesomeness for the world. And one way is to train people to help people and to satisfy the world in their dreams, right? So we did that, and we continued, and then we, obviously that was a trying period, is what you just asked me. And then of course,
Yeah.
fast forward, we got COVID, we just did it again. Right. And then this time back then, I'll tell you something interesting, Lorna. I want to call you Queen Lorna. So back then,
Goddess.
goddess, okay, fantastic. So back then, I didn't have the support system back then that I had in the next, worldly pandemic that we had. I didn't have it. I had to dig deep into myself, and of course bounce ideas off of the people that were around me that I trusted. But I couldn't. I mean, I wasn't gonna call Brian Tracy and ask him, hey, remember when I just quit like 2 months ago and I started my own company? Well, got a question. So I did not do that, and now, after 2020, the COVID situation, and I had so many more people. Like I can't tell you how many people on my Rolodex. Not many people know what Rolodex, because you're so young and your audience is probably young. But my phone directory, it's funny. My people on my phone, my speed dial was like now after, right, in 2020, Sharon Lechter, Frank Shankwitz, all these different, and Mark Victor Hansen, Chicken Soup for the Soul, Don Green, President of Napoleon Hill Foundation, just all these, Bill Walsh, like all these top people. Laurel Langemeyer. Laurel was texting me left and right from The Secret. I don't know if you're familiar with Laurel. We're texting back and forth going, all right, what now? What do we do? Forbes Riley was crying on the phone with me. And I'm like, Forbes, you're a leader. Let's go. And I remember talking to her about this. And I don't know if you know who Forbes is. And she started her thing. Okay, I'm going to start low, $10 a month, $20 a month. And now she's got so many members coming through her thing. So it's like, you just pick it up, Shanda Sumter. You just pick it back up. And we all talked to all of us. You should have seen it. It was like, remember, it reminded me, this is a funny story, by the way. You remember the Godfather movies, the three movies? The first one's great. The second one sucked. The third one was great. Or I forget which order. But anyway, one of them, I think the first one, right? They all of them, maybe it's the third, all of them go into the Vegas, into the
basement.
And into one room, and it was a table with 30 of the mobster leaders right around the world, right? I'm not calling us, I didn't call Sharon Lechter a mobster. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, it was interesting where all of us, it felt like the meeting of the minds of the self-development world.
I love that because you all came together. It was no longer about competition. It wasn't about, crabs in a barrel, who can get the most out of this situation, right? It was all of you coming together. That is so unique.
Exactly right. That's exactly right.
I love that. And what I also heard is the I don't want to call it motivation, but it actually is, right? The motivation that you guys had, instead of staying in woe is me, the world is dying, right? You stepped into action. What are we doing? Right. So I just love that, because even now in this space, we're in a time in this country, even, and I'm in a time in my life right now, which is what's next? Like, what are we doing? What's the action? How are we moving? So to hear you guys come together like that in the same, I know, I want to just reiterate this piece. You're all in the same industry.
Right. Yeah. It was
all
in
the same industry.
It wasn't competition. It was collaboration. It's exactly right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And sometimes you need to make shifts in the world, that just like I've been shifting my camera angle as much as I can.
Shifting for 45 minutes, dude.
Hey, are we gonna start the podcast soon? We're gonna start. Right? Okay. So this is just a conversation, guys. I don't know what's going on. But you're so right. Like the meeting of the minds of the top 30 professionals or 33 professionals in your industry. Who are the top 33 people in your industry? And that's what I did. I should write another book on this. Lorna, I decided, Goddess Lorna, I decided to learn from the top of the top, right? To learn from the Brian used to instill this in me all the time. He'd say, learn from the top 20% of the top 20%, which is the top 4% of the world. And that is a very small amount of people. I was talking to another friend of mine, a huge leader in the TED world, TEDx and TED Talks. And they're like, somebody brought up the fact that, oh, TED's kind of, TED Talks are kind of saturated. A lot of people are doing it. Are they though? A lot of people, maybe, I mean, if you go down your Rolodex of list of people check it out. See reminders everywhere. This is my phone, and there's no drama serve others right on my phone.
I love that.
So go down the list of who, top 100 people that that are your friends. How many of them have done TED Talks? And then look at the world, right? There's 8 billion people in the world, and let's go with 6 billion that have internet. Okay, and then I'm just kidding. So and then the thing is, like, out of that, how many percentage of people have done a TED Talk? I'm just using that as an example. Yeah. Another example could be, and it's less than 4%. It's like a 0.000 whatever of 1%. And then forget TED. It doesn't. I'm just using that as an example. There's another example of authorship. Right? Some people say, like, you and I are best-selling authors. I don't know how many I'm only a 33-time #1 bestseller. I'm sure you're like 133. But the thing is, we're best-selling authors.
And because of you, I'm 9, I think. Did we go bestseller Thursday? Because I was not. Did we go bestseller Thursday?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, you didn't know? You weren't there? Why weren't you there? So yeah, we went #1 bestseller in 6 different categories. One of them is in professional development. The other one's in education. I mean, we hit #1 in so many different. She's talking about the one of our books, the Book of Human Empowerment on Community and Alignment. So go grab your book. It's free today, by the way. For the next 3 days, it's free.
Oh, great!
Just go to thebookofhumanempowerment.com and it'll go right there. So yeah. So it's what I was saying is, like, the top. 20% of the top 20% is the top 4%. Vow to be the top of your class. I was never the top of my class. Well, I was the class clown. I was the top cool, tallest guy in the class. I was the top for wrong reasons in my class growing up in grade school and high school. But then when I get to college, they're like, maybe you should leave because you're not good at college and do something else. I'm like, you're right. And I became, what I am now. So become your, am I frozen or you're frozen? I'm going to continue talking then. I was like making a great point, and I saw her face just like this, like, and smiling. I'm like, oh, maybe my point was good. She's frozen, or I am. It says I'm in the show, and it says we're live. So let me see my feed over in Facebook and see if I am still talking. And I'll save the show. Otherwise, if I'm not, then she's saving the show. And my internet seems to be working perfectly. Oh yeah, she froze because I'm full screen now live, and she's not on the screen. Okay, so let me continue. So what I was saying was essentially that, what Lorna and I were talking about a second ago is essentially that, like, seek out those individuals. We're talking about success quote, right? Or success code. Seek out those individuals that you trust and you believe in, and you feel that they are excellent at what they do, even if it's in your industry. Okay. So here's another thing that I used to always do. And I want to see if she's popping back in. Let me look at my Facebook feed to see if she's coming back in yet. So here's something that I always used to do is I always used to look and almost do appointments, set an appointment with some of your competitors. It's kind of wild. Are you back yet? Yes, you're back. Okay. So I saved the show. Woohoo! I was Goddess Erik for a little bit. So it was funny because I made a really cool point, and then you were like this, and I was like, she's really thinking about my point, or she's frozen. I'm not sure. So I just kept on going. So the point that I was gonna finish my point here when I'm going to re-welcome the host in a second. So hold on, wait. It'll be fine. I'll introduce you in a little bit. So guys, you're just tuning in for the Success Code Fireside Chat. We are here with Erik Swanson, the true leader of this episode, and we're going to welcome the goddess Lorna in 2 seconds here because she's amazing. But the thing that I was saying was, I used to make appointments with my competitors. Okay, I would, and I highly recommend doing this. Don't be sneaky about it too much or anything like that. But just, set an appointment. If you have a competition, let's say, we're saying competition. Let's say they're in the same space as you, right? Mm-hmm. And you don't know them. Let's say they've got a webinar, and you do webinars. Let's say, then do their webinar. Check it out. Find it, and then write down the good and the bad. It's called the Ben Franklin close, is what it's called. It's a list. Okay, you put a T in the middle of a piece of paper, and you put yes and no, and then you put the yeses, the good stuff, and then the sucky stuff is on the other side, right? So do that. Set those appointments to find out what other people are doing in your space. And again, don't be sneaky about it. Don't be sneaky. If they ask you, "Oh, aren't you in the space?" "Oh yeah, I am. I'm seeing what you guys are doing. I heard you do brilliant things," right?
I love that because I do that all the time.
Oh,
that's part of the process. Absolutely, that's part of the process. I do it in real estate, right? That's what I did in real estate. At this, I always went to somebody else's open house. It's you have an open house. I'm going to your open house. Are you having a seminar?
You just going for the cookies. You went for the cookies. By the way, reminders everywhere. Okay, so this is my water bottle. I have reminders everywhere. In fact, this water bottle, I'm just borrowing it from someone who's going to get it for free because I buy Hydro Flask bottles, and this one's still got the label on it. And I have them logoed, and then I just give them out. I keep these in my car, and I just give them out to people.
I was just going to ask you if it's merch or if it's just because I know you're a giver. So, but is it?
This is for me. I mean, these are mine, and then I have mine over there. And then this is one I'm traveling right now. I came over to my home over in the mountains today, and I didn't have my water bottle with me, so I grabbed one from because it's fun having merch. I guess I don't call it merch because merch is, for me, I don't call it, and I'll tell you why. Because merch is purchasable, right? It's merchandise. That's what it's merch, right?
Right.
Yeah. This is not purchasable. I don't sell these. I give these out. I buy them. I buy as many Hydro Flasks as I can because they're really cool. They're awesome. And then we logo them and I give them out to people. I have tons of them in the back of my car. I have a lot of them. So, and as well as my books. My books, of course, our books, your book that I'm in with you. I guess it could be merch. I mean, go buy it, Amazon or Barnes & Noble, or go into your local Barnes & Noble. Here's what you do. Wherever you're watching right now from, if you're in the world, okay, it could be anywhere, doesn't matter. You could be in England, you could be in Australia, you could be in US, I don't care where you are. You could be in Mexico. Go to the Barnes & Noble or the Barnes & Nobles, right? I don't know what it is in Mexico. Go to, that was my Spanish. So go to Barnes & Noble and go up and say, "Hey, I'd like to buy Lorna Sherland's book, her newest book." And they'll go, "Let me look it up." "Oh, yeah, we see it. #1 bestseller. Great. It's a nice book. We don't have it in stock right now, but we can get it in here in about 4 days, or we can ship it directly to your house." Perfect. BarnesandNoble.com.
Awesome. Thank you for that plug. I appreciate you. Hey, so I wanted to jump back because when you talked about find the 33 people who are doing very well in the same space as you, and make appointments with them in whichever way that feels good. And I just want to acknowledge you because I remember one of the times when we spoke the first time we met. You said to me, make a list of 20 people who you want to be introduced to or who you want to meet. And I was like, that's an interesting, I never thought of that. And I actually did it, right? I haven't met all 20 yet. But I wanted to share that Sharon Lecter was one of them, right? And and the reason I'm sharing it with you is because you're the one who told me to do the list, right? Since then, I've met Sharon personally more than once, and had dinner with her here in Dallas. So that stuff really, really works. So if anybody's listening, part of success is not just the hard work. It's like setting the intention and having having that really, that's what I call manifestation. When you set intention and actually pay attention to the intention that you set,
that's right.
Then it actually comes through. Do you have something to say about intention?
Yeah, I have something to say about it.
A huge part of it.
Yeah. Did you hear me? I said I have something to say about everything. So I have something great. But do you realize why I strive? I don't try. I strive to make funny kind of things in front of you personally, is because I love your laugh, your smile, and your dignity of awesomeness. I honestly do. I love it. I love when you have those aha moments. You're like, that was pretty funny. And you do You do what I call the Pez laugh. You know what the Pez laugh is?
No,
The Pez laugh. You know Pez, the little candy, right? The Pez.
I don't eat candies.
Okay, Pez is very famous. You should look it up. Okay, and don't take one more day on this earth without knowing what Pez is. You gotta know what Pez is. Okay, Pez is that stick candy, and it's got little tiny things in the body of the candy. And it's got a little head up top, and it opens its mouth, and you get the candy out. Okay, that's Pez. Anyway, so there's a Pez laugh. The Pez laugh is ha. Once you see Pez, you'll see what I mean. So here's what I have to share with you. In regard to what you just said about intention and about what we're just talking about. So, and I'm going to share it with you in a lesson. Okay. And this is what I learned from Brian Tracy, and I learned it from Dr. Wayne Dyer personally when I met Wayne 2 or 3 times. And I didn't share stages with him, but I shared like time with him. He's amazing. Here's what I learned, and I'm going to share it with you right now. Okay. So I hope you'll take note. And if you have a pen, great, do it. This is for you, Lorna, and everyone watching. It's time for you to take it to the next level of the challenge. Okay, the challenge first was write down 20 names of people that you want to meet, and you want to meet. You know, it was just you want to meet. So you could shake their hand, take a little photo with them, maybe grab a quick cup of coffee with them if you're able to do that, something like that. Just meet them anywhere. And then, by the way, I have something called the handshake file. And I should show it to you. It's on my laptop, on my computer. I have over 150, 200, 300 people. I'm not sure how many now are in there from, and this is my fanboy thing, right? Where I meet somebody, if I meet
you, a fanboy? Oh my God.
When I meet like Sharon Lecter the first time when I ran away from her because I was so nervous, then I came back and I go, can I get a selfie? So, and I took a selfie, right? I did this with Bill Walsh, with anybody and everybody. Okay. Marie Diamond from The Secret, John Gray, right? Women are from Mars and men are crazy or something. Anyway, so I'm just kidding. That's not the title. But the point is though, I met all these people, and then the next step. So you're meeting these people, these 20 people. Okay. You have a 20 list, top 20 list. Then I want you literally, you just mentioned, you don't have to go into detail, but you just mentioned, oh, you met Sharon and you met her through us, I guess. And then you had dinner with her one night and so forth. I don't know what that dinner was like, whether it was personal or whether it was a group or a mastermind or something. I don't know. And it's okay. I don't need to know that part. My suggestion to you is I want you, Lorna, to take it to the next level. And you're kind of frozen right now, so I'll see you in a little bit. There you go. Okay, take it to the next level. And I want you to not only meet these 20 people, or maybe it's a new 20 people, but have dinner, sit down one-on-one with those 20 individuals and bring value to them, not just fanboy or fangirl to them. All right. So, and the way I do it, here's a secret. Here's a secret. Ready? Here's a secret way to do it. I'll share a secret. Here it is. So, do you like lobster? Do you like lobster?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So, if you like lobster, it's so wild. I do a lot of corporate events and different trainings with corporations and so forth. And one of my clients, and there's a big restaurant chain and so forth. Anyway, long story short, they own all these restaurants in the United States, and they've gifted me, in addition to my speaker fee, of course, they've gifted me a $500 gift card to use at one of the restaurants in Dallas, and they have lobster there. Okay, so here's the deal. Okay. Quote unquote, ready? Here's the deal, Sharon Lecter, or here's the deal, Mark Victor Hansen, or whoever's coming to town, right? Bob Berg, my buddy Bob, great guy, the go-giver. So here's the deal, Bob. I would love to take you out to this lobster dinner, and just you and I, we'll just chill, have some lobster, maybe chat a little bit. It'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That's it. So find out if they like lobster or if they like steaks, what's the best steak place, or if they like vegan food or whatever. And then you know what? Somehow you've got a gift card for $500 and you want to use it on them. Okay. Do that.
I love that. I love that idea. I think, having conversations with people who you admire, and just being real in a real conversation with them as a human to human. I think it's that I believe is value. Number one, that was one of the things that occurred this past week at this mastermind was the and that's why it was such a gift, to be in these conversations with these amazing people. them sharing their life, I'm sharing mine. You know, it was just amazing. It was just amazing.
But I have two more thoughts, if you don't mind if I share two more quick thoughts on it.
Yeah, we're almost at time. You can go ahead.
Got it. So two quick thoughts is I have something called the Leaders Dinner, and I haven't done one in a little while, but I'll probably do it again soon. And it reminds me, you should be at that table as well. It's called the Leaders Dinner, leadersdinner.com. I haven't updated in a couple months because we haven't done one in a couple months. But essentially what I do is I invite 13 individuals who I feel should have a seat at that table. And then I invite 2 or 3 of my top tier, pretty much celebrity individuals, whatever city we're in. So let's say we go to North Carolina. Let's say I'll call my buddy Jeffrey Gittimer and say, hey, dude, come on, we're doing dinner. Dinner's on me. And oh, by the way, I'm bringing a few friends. He doesn't know it's 13 people. Anyway, so we all sit down at the table and we just have a fireside chat. It's a restaurant chat. So what I would love you to do is remember the technique I just shared with you a second ago saying, look, I've got a gift card for this really cool steak place or lobster place. Do you want to go? I'd love to sit down and have a little chat with you and, buy you dinner that night if you're in town, Sharon or whoever, right? And then you say this is the add-on to it. You say, by the way, and I always use the BTW, write that down, BTW. Always have a by the way, always have another, I just thought of this, even though that was kind of in the mind already. It's like, oh, by the way, and you would say, by the way, I have a show. It's called the Success Code Fireside Chat. Let's do that personally we'll grab a little table in the back and have the chat right there. I'll just record. I'll just put my phone up and we'll record it. And then I'll put you in front of all of my members. Would that be cool with you? I'm telling you, every single person from Sharon Lecter, Mark Victor Hansen to Joe Blow that we don't know. Hey, that rhymed. They all want to be in front of people like you have. I'm probably the exception. I love your people, but I'm probably the exception. Like I don't seek out these because I'm like, people will find it. It'll be fine. And I'm happy to share it. But everyone else, they want to be on these shows because
you're so humble.
I know. I it's called the doorknob close. I'm like, no. I try to push the door closed, and people are like, come in, I want to work with you. I'm like, fine. Anyway, the point is though, here's my point. I did a TED talk on. I did 3 of them, but one of them was on these 3 points. One was decide to be awesome. 2 was seek out opportunities to allow other people to shine.
Absolutely. Okay, that's my game. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And point number 2, and then point number 3 is you got to pee every day. And anyway, I go, it's an acronym. It's awesome. Be positive, energetic, and awesome. But anyway, point 2 though is seek out opportunities to allow other people to shine. Mm-hmm. So you're doing that right now. You're seeking out an opportunity. Like you didn't probably wake up one day and you're like, I have to have Erik Swanson on this show. But this gives you, and it's not for you and I. This stuff is not for you and I. This is for the people who get one idea. How many ideas did they need to get from an event like this or a show like this?
Oh my gosh, it's crazy. When I go back and do all the cuts, it's crazy.
Yeah. All they need is one idea though, and then they need to do what on that? Act on it. Act on it with motivation, with attitude, with awesomeness, and then keep doing that. You know what that is? That's success. Success
Absolutely.
is different things that we do. Like I do. Do you know how many things
You're getting excited, huh?
We started now. Okay, it's almost 9:00 my time in the morning. So let's go. Let's start this show. Are you gonna hit record? Is it recording yet?
Oh yeah. You've been live, why am I buying into your craziness? Oh my God. So Erik,
what's a question that you would want me to ask you on a podcast? I'm curious.
What's a question that I would want you to ask me on a podcast?
Yes.
That's a great question, actually.
Maybe it's based on your Accelerate Her, because it's one of your things, one of your taglines.
Yeah. It's a funny story how I coined that name. It's really interesting. What?
Share the story. I'd love to hear it.
So to me, it's funny. I don't know if y'all would find it funny, but I actually started when I came into this space. I started with the flow of money. When I did my summits, I started with the flow of money. And then I switched it to Empower Her, because I realized that I'm all about empowering women. That's the audience that I gravitate to, right? That's the audience that I'm attracted to me. So I switched the name of my summit.
I too am attracted to women. So good job. We're in alignment there. Continue. And they're attracted to me too. You got something going here. Go continue.
Okay. And then I did Empower Her Summit for a while, and I was about to like go all in, like, gung ho. And then I went to a mastermind. This is the power of masterminds, y'all. Went to a mastermind and I met a trademark attorney.
Mm.
And she asked me a simple question. She said, Lorna, did you check the name? And I said, oops.
Oh.
And the same day, that weekend, she and I sat down and we checked the name, and the name was already taken by someone. It was not yet approved, but it was taken. And this is a lesson for people who, when you're doing these things in this, especially in the online space, you gotta check the name of whatever you're doing. So that was a huge lesson for me. And that's how we switched it. That same day we created Accelerate Her as the new brand.
I love it. I have two quickly, because I know you're going to cut me off in a second. I have two quick stories about that, what you just said, two learning experiences. One is, you definitely need to check your names, especially in an online space, because think about it. If you're thinking about this, like, oh, I've got this really cool name and it's online and it's good. Don't you think other people just like you, who are enlightened and empowered as well, are going to be probably thinking the same thoughts, right? And that's good. Like-minded people think great things, and it's great. So just keep that in mind, and you want to be first, right? That's number one lesson. Number two lesson is you are able, and you can check with obviously the attorneys on this and so forth, but I've done this for many years, where I've checked into this, where you can trademark your name, of course, nationwide and internationally, of course, as well. Go to the trademarkcompany.com, I think it is, and I use them. They're great. $800, you're done. It's great. The thing is, and you need to renew every year. But the thing is, there's also a clause, I guess, or something, where if you're already established and using, let's say you're using XYZ something in Dallas, Texas area. Well, in the other name, XYZ something is out of the California area, and they haven't technically internationally trademarked or nationally yet. That's okay. You can still utilize your name in your space, because you're not competing with
crossing states.
But if it goes online, then you've got somewhat of an issue that way. And the other story, though, and I want to share with you, and of course you can cut me off anytime, but don't. Here's the other story. The other story is based on exactly what you just shared, and I'm so happy to share this story with you, Lorna, because you're gonna be like, oh my God, we're so alike. So here's the scoop. One of my company names is Habitude Warrior. Habitude Warrior International. Okay. And you have to say the warrior part. Okay. Because I had worked with Brian Tracy, then I branched off, then I started Habitude. It was Habitude International for years. And we'd always used to say warrior because it was kind of cool. We were being warriors of our habits and attitudes. That's where it came from. And lo and behold, about 8 or 10 years into me working in this space, already utilizing that, I got an email from attorneys, and they were out of, I can't remember, Georgia, I think, Atlanta area. And they were saying, look, we've got a client. He's written a couple books, it's local, but and it's Habitude. Okay, so he had the same exact name as I did, and he's a kindergarten teacher, and he'd shared some habits and attitude for kids and so forth. So it was a very different space, but it was the same name. So long story short, the guy's great. His name's Tim. He and I became friends for like the month that we were dealing with our attorneys, and we basically both said, look, let's work this out in a good way, just like Greg Reed did. Same thing. He's got a book called Stickability. Someone else does in the UK, and they both collaborated on it. So I did the same thing with this guy, and lo and behold, the attorneys, we told both of our attorneys we're going to go ahead and mediate this ourselves. We'll just keep you in the background. We'll let you know what we're doing. Here's the deal. So we came to an agreement. The agreement was he's using Habitudes with an S at the end, and I'm using Habitude Warrior. And that's what we're doing. Okay. And it came up because kindergarten teacher, okay, in Georgia, started noticing that we were getting national and international. We're getting pretty big. And so it was a great learning, great exposure too. But here's the kicker. It was November 22nd. It was your birthday, right? Correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Mine too. Okay. It gets better. Check out this end of the story. November 22nd. I'm on the phone with the gentleman that I'm talking about in Atlanta, and we're finalizing everything. We're having a great conversation. We're like, great, we're all in agreement. This is great. We finalized it earlier today, and so forth. We're just finishing up. It was around 5 o'clock at night, and I said, well, got to get going because birthday time. And he goes, yep, you're right. And I said, wait, yeah, I'm going to go to awesome steak dinner. It's going to be great. He goes, me too. I go, wait, whose birthday we're talking about?
You're kidding.
I kid you
not.
Way. Just to explain what happened, I downloaded from God Habitude. And Jim Rohn gave it to me, by the way, through God. He's got a really good connection. So Jim Rohn and I talked about Habitude and Habitude Warrior, and we built that back in whatever year it was, 20 years. Habitude, okay? And this other gentleman who was born the same day, the same year, the same day as me on my birthday had the same word, Habitude, in his books.
That's crazy.
Just saying. There you go. I told you it would be a great story.
That is insane.
True story.
Wow. No,
guys, we're coming at the end of the hour. I just want to thank my guest host, Lorna. Lorna, accelerate her. She's amazing. We call her Goddess. If you're looking to accelerate yourself and bring you to the next level and learn the real secrets to success, stick around. Come every time to this fireside chat, learn and grow. And it's not what you learn here, it's what you do tomorrow from what you learned here today. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That's my time. My name's Erik Swanson. I'm going to pass it over to my co-host, Lorna.
Okay, so you close my show for me.
Yeah.
I love how you roll. You just take it over, Erik. Just take it over. Whatever.
Oh, how can people get in touch with me? You're right, Lorna. You can go to follow Mr. Awesome. Follow Mr. Awesome, and it's Mr. 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 is MR. Follow Mr. Awesome, or just go to speakererikswanson.com. Either way, and connect with us. Become a #1 best-selling author with us. We've got collaboration books. We've got solo books. We do everything right and nothing wrong. I'm just kidding. We do some things wrong, but we take all the greats and all the bads, and we put it all together and give you the best process to help you be the best person that you can possibly be. And the reason why is to show the world and share your brilliance with the world. So really appreciate you. Yeah.
Erik, thank you for being such a fun guest on this Saturday morning.
I'm going to take off my clothes. I'm taking off my clothes now and going into the jacuzzi. I'm going back in the jacuzzi. I still have wet shorts on. It's great.
I love it. So no, seriously, thank you for taking the time. And I know it's earlier than you're usually willing to share your space with the world. So I am truly, truly grateful for that. Thank you for your wisdom. I acknowledge you for your joviality. It's contagious. You have me laughing the whole time instead of asking you questions, but that's okay because you delivered really, really transformational information here today on the show. I appreciate you and I acknowledge you. And to the audience, like, subscribe, and share this episode. There's so much in it that he dropped a lot of nuggets, and you get to take action on it. Whether you're a 5-figure earner, a 6-figure earner, a 7-figure earner, an 8-figure earner. I was in rooms with 8-figure earners this weekend, and everybody needs this. So like, subscribe, and share, and just go out there, take action. And I always tell you at the end of the show, go be you. Be authentically you, because that's the only thing that is required of you. So I'll see you next week and have an amazing, amazing day. Talk to you guys later. Bye.